Visit ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, I'm ready to play with Nidoking and Nidoqueen. So, new Pokemons, actually the Generation 1 Pokemons from Team Up. The King's Drum Nidoking looks so strong. Potentially it can hit for 230 with a Choice Band attached to Nidoking, and with some sort of Giratina play with that Distortion Door, we can potentially even hit for 240, which should be enough for the one-hit knockout against, let's see, everything except for Whaler Tag Team, Snorlax Tag Team, and quite obvious. What else is available in play? Let me think twice. Venusaur, yeah, as well. But Venusaur is not that, I mean, it's popular, but I guess Pikachu Zekrom are more popular, and this is the reason why Nidoking can actually shine, theoretically, because it can go for 240 in the combination with the Choice Band and with Giratina, with one Nidoqueen on the bench. In theory, this sounds like an easy job, but in the real life, it's not that simple actually to get so many resources necessary in order to attack. Overall, there's 18 Pokemons, 12 energies, which I think it might be a little bit too much, and also 30 trainer cards. So, in order for proper setup, I decided to run 2 copies of Jirachi with Stellar Wish, which will be very useful in this game and in this deck, mainly because with the Stellar Wish we can have greater chance to pull those rare candies, so we can quickly evolve into Nidoqueen, and once we was able to evolve into Nidoqueen, then we can simply use advantage of that Queen's Call, and then we can search our deck for any non-GX or EX Pokemon and we can put it into our hand. Also, a good thing about Jirachi is the fact that we can also grab, for example, Drought Supporter if we don't have it. In addition to Jirachis, for the setup, we're going to find 4 copies of Nazball and 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Maybe some sort of Timer Ball would not be also bad as well. The biggest problem that I noticed when I played this deck was the lack of skateboards. So I think that 3 skateboards would be a sweet spot for this deck as well. But since I pre-recorded this video before, it will be just with 2 skateboards. Then, in addition to Jirachi, I'm running 1 copy of Giratina, which can add extra 10 damage, which is very important, mainly because then we can go for 240 against Pika Zekrom. 1 copy of Marshadow for Let Loose, as well as 1 copy of Wonder Tech Tapu, and then 2 line of the Nidoqueen, and 3 line of the Nidoking as our main attacker, and there's also 1 Nihilego with that Void Tentacle and also Nightclub, which can help us as well in some matchups. I'm also running 1 copy of Tapu Lele, which can help me to search potentially my deck for the Drought Supporter or maybe Guzma if I need it. I already mentioned that I played 4 copies of Nazball and 4 copies of Ultra Ball. There's also 4 copies of Rare Candy in addition to that, 2 copies of Rescue Stretcher for Pokemon Recycle, 2 of each Choice Band and a Skateboard, and then 9 Drought Supporters, 4 3-2 Cynthia Lily, Titan Liza, and 3 Guzmas with 12 energies, 4 DCE, and 8 energies. And before I move on to the game testing, for sure this deck also needs at least 1 or 2 stadium cards, so maybe Shrine of Punishment would not be that bad. So even thinking about removing Giratina from play, so I can potentially add Shrine of Punishment, maybe even removing 1 extra card in addition for 2 shrines, maybe even 3 shrines, which would be much better and consistent in my opinion, mainly because the biggest problems are gonna be decks that they're gonna play those super special stadium cards like Life Forest, for example, like Wanderer's Labyrinth, Black Market, Thunder Mountain. So without stadium card you can't do too much, so I'm definitely thinking about removing Giratina from play, and I'm even thinking about reducing -1 energy less, probably for 2 copies of Shrines. So with the Shrines we can add some extra damage to our opponent's Pokemons in play, maybe even removing let's say one copy of Nazball, and adding maybe third skateboard could also make a lot of impact to this build, mainly because then we can retreat with our Jirachi and we can have more flexibilities and options available. But even removing one more Lily from this build can open even more space for that third choice band, and in some situations we can have 230 damage available with that King's Drum, and potentially that can be even much better. So you should also consider actually using this deck list instead of the deck list that I did in the introducing video. So let's do some game tests so you can actually see how I managed to play with pre-reconstructed deck, and then you can also test it by yourself and see if you're gonna have much more luck for yourself. So see you in the game. So playing with Nidoking and Nidoqueen, this deck can actually hit hard. It can go for like 240 in theory, and it can even one-hit knockout Zekrom Pikachu GX in just a single shot, which is amazing. So no sign of the basic Pokemon in my opening hand, but I'm starting with one Nidoran. I do have one copy of a skateboard, which means that I can retreat onto my Jirachi. And that's probably going to be the play here. Oh, alright, Celebi and Venusaur. That actually hurts a bit. So yeah, no doubt about it, we really want to retreat and see what other options we can have with that Jirachi. So one copy of Ultra Ball might sound like a good idea, especially if I throw out something like this. Alright, so for female Nidoran, and then I can attach my skateboard and play Lily for 7, which is a very successful turn 1. Although I'm just gonna need a little bit of luck with that rare candy play, potentially getting maybe even Nidoqueen in play, so I can grab myself one copy of Nidoking. Alright, so there's Enter Paradise Conversation Area. There is also Lily play for my opponent as well. For 6 cards. A DCE. So that's very good turn for him. We're gonna go with first with the Nazball, and it should be for another Jirachi just in case of the knockout on this one. Still a Wish. For Rescue Stretcher, I guess I can live with that, mainly because I can get Nidoking this turn in play, and I don't need to waste Rare Candy potentially. And I can maybe play Guzma and hit something for 100. Something like this Shaman on the bench. And take maybe first Knockout into play, which is maybe not that strong. But then again, when I think twice, I'm probably just gonna target this Tapu Lele instead. With my King's Drum for like 100. Unfortunately, Tapu Lele does not have weakness, so it's only 100 for now. For next turn, theoretically we can draw 5 new cards with Tate and Liza and potentially get maybe Nidoqueen for, who knows, maybe even Nidoking top deck. And there's a Judge Whistle. And Grass Energy attached to Celebi and a Venusaur, meaning only one thing. If Tapu Lele stays locked in the active position, I can take 2 prize cards, which is a very good thing. And looks like that's actually going to happen. And even better, we have Nidoqueen. And then we can use that Queen's Call for another Nidoking. And with the rare candy, I can have another copy of Nidoking in play, plus I can also play Tate and Liza. So for me the most important thing here is to get energy attached into my Nidoking this turn. That's literally something that I need. And in addition to that, potentially to even find another Nidoran for the bench. Okay, so I'm taking 2 prize cards, which is a good thing, with my King's Drum. So this time I'm hitting for 200 with a Choice Band. This damage can go up to 230. Unfortunately, Venusaur is probably the only deck that cannot be one-hit knocked out. But still, I already did a good job. So if he wants to go for the one-hit knockout, he can always go with Solar, actually with the Evergreen GX. Not with the Solar Beam. Would not be enough for the knockout. However, 2 prize advantage for me. And there's another Nidoqueen and another rare candy. That's good. Well, for example, I can knock this Seviper out for 1 prize, which is not bad. And he decided to attach energy to Celebi and Venusaur, so he definitely wants to confuse me. He definitely wants to confuse me there. Alright. Tate and Liza, Guzma, any of these cards would be nice. Otherwise, Queen's Call for sure for another Nidoking. I mean, I'm gonna risk, probably, and this might end up as a disaster. It might not. We shall see. We have also a Choice Band, so more damage can be done as well. I mean, I can go for 200, but if I retreat, he's probably just gonna use GX anyways and knock me out. So I need to get a little bit of luck here, flipping the heads on the coin flip because I'm confused. Yeah, this is a little bit problematic as it looks. And I flipped tails. Unfortunately, I flipped tails, but still, at least, yeah, so Burn actually knocked me out. As it looks right now, I'm gonna need to let my opponent to knock my Jirachi out, and that's pretty much it. And then I'm gonna probably play that Rescue Stretcher play. There is another Judge Whistle. So I actually need to find a way to somehow knock him out. So he decided to Solar Beam me. Well, my play will probably be a double Chorus Energy with the Drag Off down to his Celebi and Venusaur on the bench, as it looks right now. The only mistake that I did right now was the fact that I didn't put my Jirachi in play. It's not a big deal because mainly I can play Guzma and then use advantage of my Jirachi and then still be able to use Drag Off. But as it looks right now, we're just gonna go with a Drag Off, and that's gonna be 80. Oh, only 50. Oh, so this attack does 50, so the Choice Band will not count. Alright, it's good to know that. So 1 Flora Heal, it's like... Oh, maybe it does count, but he have a Stadium in play. So that might be the reason. So there's a Field Blower. I'm probably gonna lose Jirachi. Oh, actually he made a mistake there by not discarding. Okay, good. I'm fine with that. I'm actually fine with that. I can put Pokemon into my hand. I can maybe go with this Marshadow. If I hit for... yeah, I'm just not in the range for the knockout anyways. I have basically like... yeah, it's very tough to play versus Venusaur. I mean, I have no idea what should I do. Because if I hit for 200, he can just knocks me out if he have double Core's energy in play. But I mean, I definitely need to go for the heavy damage there. So if he can use GX, he can use it only once. He won't be able to use it twice, which also means that he won't be able to knock me out with a single shot. And that's a good thing. And without double Core's energy or maybe Guzma Switchblade, this Venusaur and Celebi will be knocked out anyway next turn. And there we go. So he decided to go for the knockout maybe against my Nidoqueen, or just maybe to pull and hazard it. Just pull and hazard it. Alright, this time I'm not going to make a mistake. I'm going to retreat. I'm going to play Guzma onto my Jirachi. And it's quite obvious that I'm going to catch this Venusaur on the bench. Alright, energy attachment. Queen's Call for another Nidoking. This is remarkable because we have 3 Nidokings in play. There we go. So let's go with 1 Guzma. Let's see what we can get with that Jirachi. Stellar Wish. Nest Ball sounds like a pretty good idea. Mainly because we want to have maybe even that Nihilego in play. So we can also use advantage of Void Tentacle. And this is gonna be retreat onto Nidoking and 200 damage, minus 30, so 170. But the most important thing here is the fact that I'm taking 3 prize cards. So triple prize card means that only Guzma is needed in this situation for the win against that Shaman or maybe against that Seviper on the bench. But the good thing is that I don't even need Guzma for the win because he has Seviper in play, and the only thing that I can do, I can just drag off this Seviper and hit him for 100 because weakness will apply, and this means that the game is unfortunately over for my opponent. And yeah, who would say that this Nidoking would be so strong and that this Nidoking would just knock this Celebi and Venusaur so easily? But we actually managed to exploit this tag team Venusaur on the other side. And probably right now my opponent is thinking, what can I do against this weird Nidoking deck? Is there anything possible even to do? I mean, probably it's not, because this Seviper is actually making a lot of problems for him just because of the weakness. This Shaman would not be... I won't be able to knock this Shaman out for sure because he have this Stadium in play. So yeah, let's see what's gonna happen next. Alright, so 1 Netball play might be for another energy, and it is. So he might just decide to go with Wanderer's Labyrinth. Alright, but still doesn't matter because I have Drag Off, and he just decided to hit for 50 anyways. So I could definitely attack with my Drag Off and win the game simply by knocking his Seviper on the bench. But before I do that, I'm just gonna attach energy in case if something weird happened, maybe some sort of glitch or something. But that's it, that's the GG. And yes, so Nidoking managed to win mighty powerful Celebi and Venusaur, but mainly because this was not control Venusaur deck, and that's the only reason why we managed to win it, because against control deck, I don't think I would stand a chance, to be honest. Alright, so we're in the game number 2. So game number 1 was win versus Celebi and Venusaur tag team. So looking forward to play game number 2. Unfortunately, once again, I can't start with my Jirachi in the active position, but however, I do have Nest Ball available for it. So theoretically, I might be able to do it. But again, in order to do that, I'm also gonna need a skateboard. So Lulu for 2. Wow, amazing. My turn. Alright, so very bad opening hand for my opponent. And we can go with that Jirachi Stellar Wish on the bench, as well as one copy of Ultra Ball, which is gonna be for female Nidoran once again. And then I'm looking forward to play my Cynthia. Alright, not bad. Energy attachment. We're gonna retreat down to Jirachi and see what we can find with the Stellar Wish. Rescue Stretcher maybe. Potentially not looking good. So I'm just gonna pass the turn and see what my opponent can do with 9 cards in his hand. Can he find himself another Drow supporter, maybe even Gardevoir or something else? We shall see, but for now, definitely looks bad for him. Oh, so there we go. There's a Elm Lecture, and I can hope for the good top deck. Good strong top deck would be perfect. Some sort of rare candy would not be that bad. Then I can Rescue Stretcher for the Nidoking. Mudkip, Vulpix, and Rowls. Alright. Will there be maybe possibly energy attachment? I don't know, but I have good chance to pull actually rare candy play here. Just because we have that Stellar Wish and Jirachi available, so there is a rare candy play. And as it looks, I'm gonna definitely go with Nidoking Evolution here. I would only love to see a energy in my hand so I can potentially attack this turn, so that's just not gonna happen. And that's the reason why I'm gonna play Cynthia in this case, because I need 6 cards and maybe even another rare candy play. I do have it, but for now I can't use it. So I'm gonna attach Double Course Energy to my other Nidoran and pass my turn. Something tells me that it's maybe better to lose Nidoran instead of the Nidoking, but I need to attach energy anyways. On the other side of the field, this skateboard is the problem for me. This skateboard actually makes a lot of problem to me right now, mainly because I can't attack for 230 with the Choice Band with my Nidoking. So Pokemon Communication and Rare Candy for my opponent. Rare Candy probably for Swampert, so he can trade cards and draw 3 extra cards, and there's Pokemon Communication as well. So the game didn't show me which Pokemon he traded. That's a cheat. Okay, and another Gardevoir in play. And right now he can play Swampert, or maybe Cynthia then Swampert. He don't need too many resources, only 2 energies are necessary for him. So since I have Rare Candy and Nidoking available, I'm probably just gonna go with Nidoran in the active position, Rare Candy into Nidoking, and then I'm gonna Tapu Lele for Cynthia play. I would risk with Jirachi, but since I'm only running 2 copies of... oh, Secret Spring, there we go. Since I'm only running 2 copies of a skateboard, I'm not gonna do that anyways. So Infinite Force for the knockout. Something tells me I should not risk, because if it's prized, or if I miss it, I'm not gonna be able to retreat. And that's not something you really want to see. Alright, so first things first, let's go with the Tapu Lele play. We have Cynthia. And we also have Marshadow and that Let Loose yeah, Let Loose Marshadow available as well as... So I have decent chance to pull what I need. Will I be able to pull what I need? Nope, not even close. So hit for 100, or maybe just pull something from the bench and hit for like some sort of damage. Something tells me I should drag off that Swampert and hit him for 50. We're gonna take the risk here. I know I'm taking a big risk there, but I would be knocked out anyways, and in this case he needs to waste 3 energies in order to retreat, or maybe to find himself a Guzma. But if he can find some sort of Guzma, then he can target probably something on my bench like Nidoking. But then in addition to knock him out, he still needs 2 energy cards. So there is the Ultra Ball for Tapu Lele, and this might be Tapu Lele for Guzma play. But I think I actually made good call here by catching his Swampert in the active spot. The only thing that he can actually do to surprise me there would be to find some sort of that energy that count as 4 as long as you have 3 stage 2 Pokemons in play. Oh, what's the name of that energy? It's not Miracle Energy, it's... I don't know what's the name of that energy right now. It's on the... what's the name of that energy card? I'm not sure. Mystery Energy, I think it is. No, it's not Mystery Energy. It's... I don't know. I have no clue. It is some type of energy, but I don't know which one. Anyways, let's promote Jirachi in the front. Right, shall we? Marshadow Let Loose. Alright, seems to be very interesting. If I can pull Choice Band play and maybe Rare Candy Nidoqueen. Ooh, not even close. I do have Choice Band, but I don't have Nidoqueen. So I can go for like 200. 200 would be enough for the knockout versus this. And if I just didn't put energy right there. Yeah, this game is lost anyways. I can definitely say that this game is lost, unfortunately. At least I can go for 200 and knock this Ninetales out, but what after that? Queen's Call. I don't even have male Nidoran. That's the bad thing. Yeah, anyways, I'm hitting at least for 200, so it is a lot of damage counter. King's Drum, yeah, for 200. I wish I had that escape board so I could just knock this Gardevoir out. I'm not sure what would happen after that because... I mean, alright, it's still not lost game because I can still get myself theoretically Nihilego in play, and I can potentially use Confusion and Poison, and then I can force my opponent to retreat, for example. But this actually also counters me as a lot. I mean, the only thing that I can try to do right now would be to power up my what if I shuffle these 3 bad boys back? 1, 2, 3. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 140, 160, 180, and with the choice method it's only 210, so that's not even close. Which basically means that I need to use my Queen's Call and I need to catch my Nidoran so I can put him on the bench Energy needs to be attached to this bad boy, but before I do that, I also need to use my Stellar Wish, and at least I can find myself a Lily. A good way to go. 6 cards as well. But this Stadium again, making me a lot of problems. I don't have actually a way to counter it. And I do have option to attack next turn theoretically, but what if he hits me with the Infinite Force? Maybe he will be not smart enough, and maybe he just decide to add more energy so I can surprise him with my Nightclap. That would be so badass. So he's hitting for like 150, 180, 210. Nope, Infinite Force. He decided to go for 180. So I can literally go for like 210 in a total. But if I promote something like Nidoqueen in the front, still I need a lot of resources. Do we have Tapu Lele available? Yes, we have. Yeah, this Wanderer's Labyrinth actually make me unusable. I'm afraid the game is over. I'm afraid, my friends, this game is over, unfortunately. So I can Queen's Call for some sort of Nidoking. And then still I need to draw that rare candy, but since I only have 1 rare candy, it's not gonna be super easy for me to do that. Not even close. Maybe for Nidorino. At least we can try to manually evolve. It will take some time for me to evolve. And that's it. So the only thing that he needs right now literally is just Guzma play. And he has so many cards in his hand that I would just be in a wonder if he won't have Guzma. So he have Ultra Ball probably for Tapu Lele, which should be for Guzma for the knockout against my Nidorino on the bench, but maybe even against my Tapu Lele as well. So yes, it is a Tapu Lele Guzma play. Probably for Tapu Lele, because he can win the game with only 1 energy in play. With 1 extra energy in play. Alright. Or the Bursting Hidden Secret Spring with 1 energy knocks me out as well. But he also have, in addition to that double course energy, so there's nothing we can do actually anymore. I'm wondering if there's something that I can actually try to do. I think it's not. I think there's literally nothing. It doesn't matter anymore. Lily for 3, and I'm passing my turn, and yeah, that's it. That's the GG. So I had more luck in the game number 1, but that game number 2 versus Gardevoir mainly lost because I couldn't knock my opponent because I was short for like Nidoqueen in the early stage of the game. But it's very hard to go for the one-hit knockout versus Gardevoir, and on the other side of the field, the more energies you add to your Nidoking, the more damage Gardevoir will be able to do, and that's the big problem for Nidoking. But overall, also that Stadium counters me so strong that I was not even able to attack with 3 energies in my King's Drum. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, so have a nice day and goodbye.